Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
नाम संकीर्तन की जय।
जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद
की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा माता जी,
प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna Siti. Wonderful Kirtan.
थैंक यू माता जी।
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna to all.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Om Jnanamirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Neham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamshacha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swamin Iti Namine. Nama Acharya Padaya Nitaye Kripa Pradayane Gaura Katha Dhamadaya Nagara Grama Tarine. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Deenataranam. Shri Chaitanya Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hari Om Tatsat. Hare Krishna. So, yesterday we did the summary of first 3 chapters, and then now we started the 4th chapter. What is the name of the chapter 4? Each chapter, there is a name given to the chapter.
Transcendental knowledge.
Transcendental knowledge. So chapter 3 was, yeah, Divigyan. So third chapter was known as Karma Yoga. Fourth chapter is transcendental knowledge. Why was Krishna giving transcendental knowledge? What was the importance? Why Krishna wanted to give the transcendental knowledge? What was Arjuna's problem?
Because he was scared that I am going to kill my own relatives and my blood relations. But they are, in fact, Prarabdha is there. They are already been killed by the Krishna.
Abhi, right now, the transcendental knowledge was given. Any other guess? Anybody want to share anything?
So I think Mataji, the third chapter, we talked about lust, and
Yes.
Arjuna was asking Krishna how to control the lust. That is
Yes.
by giving more power to the intelligence over mind, and the only way we can give more power to intelligence over mind is by gaining this knowledge.
Oh,
that-
yes. Yes, perfect. Sir. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this. So last shloka of the chapter 3 talks about, thus knowing oneself to be the transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjuna, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence. How one should control the senses and mind? By deliberate spiritual intelligence. And thus by spiritual strength, he can conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. So Arjuna was knowing that everything is right, what Krishna is saying. I should do it. He wanted to do it, but he said somebody is pulling me not to do. Somebody is forcing me not to do. What is that thing which is forcing me not to do? So that is the reason Krishna says you should control your mind with the deliberate intelligence. And that is why he gave this knowledge of transcendental knowledge. Because in the third chapter, we had read that there is mind, above the mind, there is intelligence. There is above the intelligence is soul, and above the soul is the super soul. So it is the intelligence which should control the mind. And intelligence, when the buddhi is in intelligence, it's called vivek. Vivek means it is doing it is able to discriminate between the right and wrong. So that is the time when the intelligence is situated properly, it can guide the mind. If intelligence is not properly situated, it will be taken away with the mind. Whatever mind wants, one person will do it. So this is what we saw. Then when we are talking about the knowledge, transcendental knowledge, Divigyan, so where to get the knowledge from? Whom to get the knowledge from? So all this thing, what is this knowledge? First of all, what is this Divigyan? Then how is it received? Then how to lead to Nishkam Karma Yoga, and how this knowledge born. So we saw the lineage of the knowledge, that Krishna says that I gave this knowledge to the sun god, and then sun god gave it to the Manu. And Manu gave it to Ikshvaku. So this is how the transcendental knowledge is being transferred. And Ikshvaku, in the dynasty of Ikshvaku, Lord Ramachandra was born. So this knowledge is actually saintly knowledge, as well as this is Rajavidya. In one of the chapter, Krishna says, Rajavidya Rajagohyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam. This is a Rajavidya, means the knowledge which is given to the saintly kings. It is topmost knowledge. Rajavidya means topmost knowledge. And it is given why the knowledge has been given to the king, because the king will give it to the all subject. The king will all give it to all the subjects. That is why the knowledge is given. So we saw that why. So it was given to sun god, then Manu, then Ikshvaku, and then Arjuna 5,000. So when Krishna was giving this knowledge to Arjuna, he said that after some time this knowledge was lost. Sakale ne mahata yogo nastah parantapa. In course of time, this succession was broken. The knowledge was there, but sometimes when we do not follow the knowledge properly, we start making an interpretation on by ourselves. So knowledge gets, the real meaning of the knowledge gets lost. When Prabhupada was writing the Bhagavad Gita commentary, so somebody asked, there are so many Bhagavad Gita available in the market. Why you are writing one more Bhagavad Gita? What is the use? Already there are so many editions of Bhagavad Gita there available. So Krishna said, Prabhupada said, I am writing this edition because I want to present what actually exactly what Krishna wants me to, is saying in the Bhagavad Gita. This is the reason the Bhagavad Gita which we read is called Bhagavad Gita as it is. As it is. Prabhupada has given the name as it is. As the Krishna wanted to teach. In each and every chapter, we will see Krishna will talk about surrender. Krishna will talk about giving up the sense enjoyment. Krishna will talk about the controlling the mind. And that is what Prabhupada has given in the purpose. The purpose of the life is to control the mind and senses, revive our relationship with the Lord, and get out of this material world. So when this knowledge was lost, because so many people are transmitting the knowledge, not following the Vedic parampara. So yesterday also I told that we have to receive the knowledge only from these authentic disciplic succession. We should not receive knowledge anywhere and everywhere, because definitely that knowledge there will be something by their own concoction. So many people talk about Bhagavad Gita. I think Krishna wanted to tell this. I think Krishna wanted to tell this. So everybody starts giving the interpretation on Bhagavad Gita and meaning is lost. Nowadays, so many even WhatsApp messages floats regarding Bhagavad Gita's teaching. They don't know anything, but even though, and that is very like misleading to the people. So why was Krishna chosen to give this knowledge? What was so special in Krishna? So many other sages were there. Even the great sages were there at that time also. And other leaders were there. Why Krishna only was chosen to be given? Krishna says, Bhakto semi sakha cheti rahasyam hi etad uttam. This is the most confidential, transcendental knowledge. And I am giving it to you because I want to give it to somebody who is very close to my heart and who will follow it as it is without being having doubt. So Arjuna was a great devotee of the Lord, and that is how Krishna chose to give this knowledge to him. So Arjuna asked this question, how do I understand you are giving this knowledge earlier to the sun god, because sun god is so senior? And in the beginning, how do you, because you are my contemporary, you are with me, my age. Now you are saying I gave this knowledge to the sun god, and sun god is very, very old. So how do I understand this instruction of yours? So Arjuna was not asking in the mood of challenge, rather Arjuna was asking as a question to understand. How do we understand? So Arjuna actually knew all this, but he was wanting to understand for us, so that we do not have died. If Arjuna would have not asked this question, we would have thought it is all just like that. How can Krishna be giving this knowledge to the sun god so many billions of years before? And now again he is giving. How can Krishna be there? So Krishna himself will answer this. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavoja Arjuna tanya aham veda sarvani na tvam vetha parantapaha.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Yeah.
I am not able to see the sloka. The first slide I'm seeing, but I don't know about others.
Is it? Now?
Yeah, I could see now.
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Now it is visible.
Okay. So, Bahuni me vyatitani, janmani tavacha Arjuna. Bahuni me, there are many births. Vyatitani, we have taken, you and me both. Janmani tavacha Arjuna. So Krishna says many times, I have also taken birth, Arjuna, and you have also taken birth. Tani ham veda sarvani natam vetha parantam. He said, I remember everything, but you cannot. O subduer of the enemy. So now Krishna is answering. You will see Bhagavad Gita is a question and answer. So Arjuna asked question, how do I understand? that you had given this knowledge to sun god. So Krishna says, many times you and me have taken birth. In every yuga, you come on, I also come. But you don't remember everything. You don't remember even anything what had happened. Our memory is so weak that if somebody asked me yesterday what this same time you are doing, yesterday evening, what you were doing in the same, we will have to struggle to remember what we were doing. Forget about the 5 years before or 10 years before or 20 years. Maybe something we remember which is very, very like close to our heart. But most of the things we forget. We don't have that capacity to keep remembering everything what had happened. And if Krishna has actually given us the forgetfulness, Krishna says, I give you the forgetfulness. Because if you remember everything, you will go mad. You can't, like, you cannot have in your brain, because we are taking so many births. If we remember every birth's life, oh, in this birth I did this, and then I got a body of this, and then I did this, and then, so we cannot live. So Krishna has given us the forgetfulness so that we forget everything. After one, like, days goes past, we forget everything. The life goes, we forget everything. But Krishna says, I do not forget. Why Krishna does not forget and we forget? Anybody has any clue?
He's transcendental.
Okay, nice. Okay. Anybody else? Why the Krishna does not forget?
Mataji, I think he's not going through the birth and death like normal jivas go.
Yeah, very good. Yes, very good. Very good. Anybody else? Why is Krishna not forgetting anything? He remembers everything.
He's super soul omnipresent.
Okay. So Krishna is not changing the body. Krishna comes in his own same body again and again. As Prabhu said, Krishna does not go into the cycle of birth and death. After death means we forget everything of this life. We go to the next life, we forget everything. We don't remember right now what we were there in the previous life. Sometimes that is the reason people see who has seen what we were and who knows what I'll be in the next life. So let me enjoy this life. I am, even if it is sinful, so what? Right now I'm enjoying, because I don't know what is going to happen with me next life. Because we forget. We have tendency to forget everything. But Krishna says, I remember everything because I don't change the body. We change the body. Every time our soul transmigrate from one body to another. But Krishna's body is the same. He comes in the same body and goes in the same body. So when the sun rises in the earth, we got the sun has appeared. And then sun disappeared from our eyes. But it is there somewhere. Sun has disappeared from this horizon, but it is been seen somewhere else. In some other continent, it will be seen. We cannot see because it has disappeared from our vision. Similarly, when it appears to our vision, somebody else will not be seen. It appears and disappears. Now, doesn't take birth and he dies every morning and evening. He appears and disappears. So similarly, this example is given: Krishna appears and disappears by his own will, and that Krishna will tell. So Krishna says, the personality of Godhead said, many, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer of the enemy. Krishna says, I remember everything, but you cannot remember, because Krishna is not changing the body, but Jiva is changing the body. So when the body is changed, everything related to this body is completely lost. The conditioned soul who transmigrate from one material body to another forgets everything due to change of body. He is different from body. Supreme Lord Krishna appears in various incarnations but does not change his Sachidanand body, which is non-different from himself. Everything in relation to him is spirit. Being omniscient, he remembers all his past appearance. So you understood, everybody, that Krishna does not change body. He is always there in his transcendental body, and that is the reason there is no change. So he does not forget anything. And we change the body, and changing of the body means everything of this body we forget. So the next shloka, uniqueness of Krishna's appearance. Ajo api sannavyatma bhutanameshwaropi san prakritim swam adhisthaya sambhavami atmamayaya. Atmamayaya. Krishna says that although I'm unborn, Ajopi San Avyatma. Avyatma means Ajo. I am Ajo means there is no birth for me. I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates. There is no deterioration of my time. They say when we take birth, our body deteriorates. There are 6 changes happens in the body again and again. We take birth, we grow a little more older, then we reproduce, then we dwindle, we die. So there are changes. Even if we see our pictures of every year, we can see there's so many changes happening in our physical feature also. So Krishna says, and Krishna, when he was 21, Kurukshetra war was it had happened. It is said Krishna was that time 125-year-old, and he was still looking young. So Krishna, maybe he is 125 in the earthly calculation, but his age is always 16 years. Krishna has stopped in the Goloka of Vrindavan. Everybody has a fixed age, and after that they don't grow. Here we grow and die, because that is the law of nature. There, if we can always be on the same age, like if I can always be on my 16s or 18 or 20, and there is no death, then I'll be always the same. But in material world, the effect of time is there, and every time by the effect of time, my body gets deteriorated. But Krishna's word, there is no effect of time. There is no time actually. There is no kala. There is no samay. So effect of samay is not there. That is the reason everybody has the same age. The gopis, those who are there of 12-year age, they will be always 12 years. Those who will be cowherd boys, they will be of 16-year age, they'll be always 16-year-old. So Krishna's transcendental body is also, Krishna says, my transcendental body never deteriorates. And although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear. So Krishna does not belong to this material world. He says that, but I still appear in every millennium. I do come. Why? And my original transcendental form. Atma Maya. I come by my own will, and I come in my own original form. So there are 2 things here in Krishna's birth. Our birth is that we cannot decide where we want to born next time. I cannot decide this. According to my karma, according to my desire, I'll be forced to accept a body. It may be human, it may be animal, it may be bird, it may be beast, it may be tree. In the human life also, it may be poor, it may be rich, it may be beautiful, it may be ugly, it may be intelligent, it may be dumb. I cannot choose who will be my parent next life. But Krishna can choose. Krishna does not come because of his karma. He comes by his own will. I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form, by my own will. Atma Maya. Nobody forces me. I decide, okay, now this time I will take birth as a in this family. In the Satyuga, when the Narsimhadev appeared from the pillar, Narsimhadev appeared from the pillar, right? So Narsimhadev, after killing the Hiranyakashipu, Narsimhadev was very, very angry. And why did he appear from the pillar? Because Prahlad said, his father asked, where is your God? He said, everywhere. He said, is this in pillar? He said, yeah, he is in pillar also. And then he just cut the pillar and Narsimhadev appeared. Because his devotee said, you are there, and to fulfill the desire of Prahlad Maharaj, that Prahlad Maharaj has said that he is here, he appeared from the pillar. So after killing Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad was sitting in the lap. There's some picture where Prahlad is sitting very lovingly in the lap of the father, because Narsimhadev was very, very angry. When Lord becomes the most angry, when his devotee is disturbed. Lata, can you get the picture of Prahlad sitting on Narsimhadev's lap? So, Lata, are you there? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, I'll take.
Okay. So, Narsimhadev was very, very angry, because Lord can tolerate anything. Lord says, even if you insult me also, I will tolerate. But if you insult my devotee, I cannot tolerate. He became very furious. So he was so angry, and he had tore the Hiranyakashipu apart with his big nails, and all the blood had come, and he had a face of the lion, and his whole mane was like there was a blood, and he had taken out the intestine of Hiranyakashipu, and he had put it as a garland, and he was looking very ferocious. So all the devatas, Brahmaji and all the sages and devata came to see when the Lord appeared and does this very superhuman role play he plays. So all of them, they come. So everybody saw that he is very angry. So they thought, we have to now pull him down. So all the devatas went and asked Lakshmi Devi, he's your husband, you go. Because everybody was scared to see that form of the Lord. So they said, you go and try to pacify the Lord. Lakshmi Devi said, no, I cannot go. He looks very furious. My husband is not like this. And I have also not seen this form of the Lord anywhere before. So I'm very scared. Then Brahmaji was asked. Brahmaji did not go. All the devatas. There's a big chapter in the Bhagavatam, 7th canto. And nobody was ready because everybody was scared to go near the Lord by seeing his ferocious face. So Brahmaji then said, Prahlad. Prahlad was a 5-year-old boy. So Brahmaji said, Prahlad, he had appeared because of you. Because you prayed that he is there, he had to take this form and appear. Why don't you go and pacify the Lord? And such a beautiful prayer of Prahlad Maharaj is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Very beautiful prayer. And Prahlad Maharaj said, he had done a full 1 chapter is a prayer of Prahlad Maharaj. And in that prayer, he said, everybody is scared of your form, oh my Lord. I am not scared of your form. And I am scared that I am born in the family of a demon, and I have a my tendency to be in the Maya all the time, to forget you. And I'm just afraid that if I forget you, what will my situation be there? So he was doing the prayers. So after he offered his prayer, Narsimhadev became very happy and he put Prahlad Maharaj in his lap. And very lovingly, like a lion is like leaking, because
Mataji, I have taken the picture. Do you want me to show?
Yeah, yes. So he was leaking, like as a lion, he leaks his baby cubs. So he was leaking, and he was very like putting the hand on the Prahlad Maharaj, and very lovingly he was sitting, and he very happy. Everybody was scared. Prahlad was not scared, and he's sitting nicely in the lap of. This is a little bit actually Shanta Mudra. There is a picture where he is really angry and he is tearing the apart and all, and he has mane and all. Sorry, with the blood. So when Prahlad sat on the lap of Narsimhadev, Narsimhadev had so much fatherly love for the Prahlad Maharaj, and he started enjoying, and he said, oh, even I want a father and mother. Even I want to be in the lap of my father and mother. It is so nice to be in the lap of father and mother. And next incarnation, he came as a Lord Ramachandra. He took in the appear where he had parents. Before that, Lord never had parents. Every time he used to appear, there was no parent for the Lord as a child. So even when he was born in the Bhavan, there was Aditi. He never was there in the he born as a Brahmana with the Brahman hair that on. Immediately he went to do the tapasya. So he said, Lord said, even I want to have the parent and have the loving relationship with my parent. And to fulfill that desire, he appeared as a Lord Ramachandra into the Treta Yuga. So Lord decides what he wants. We cannot decide. You can stop sharing. So Lord, we cannot decide, but he decides where I have to take the birth. Atma Maya. That is the uniqueness of Krishna's appearance. And then why he has to appear? He has his own abode, beautiful abode of Lord. Vaikuntha is there, Goloka Vrindavan is there, where he permanently stays there. So why he has to come into what is the time of Lord's appearance? When does he appear? And what is the reason? So this is a very famous shloka, everybody must be knowing. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttana madharmasya tadabanam shrijamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. So when the Lord comes, whenever there is a decline in religious principle, whenever there is a decline in religious principle, people become irreligious, don't follow the dharma. Because Lord is dharma. All the transcendental knowledge is coming from the Lord. When the Lord knowledge gets destroyed, people become irreligious. They don't follow the Vedic principles. Then to teach them again, Lord has to come. So that is what he says. Whenever there is a decline, glani means there is a decline, I have to come to reestablish it. And that time when there is a decline in the religious principle, what happens? Irreligious practice become more and more dominant. Irreligious practice means devotees will be tortured by the demons. Saintly people will be tortured by the demons. Demoniac mentality will increase more and more. More and more. Who is called demon and who is called devotee? What is the difference between demon and devotee? Devotees are those who follow the instructions of the Lord. And demons are those who do not follow, those who go against the scriptures of the Lord, against the teachings of the Lord. So demon does not mean that you will have two horns here. That is not the description of the demon in the scripture. They are also sometimes beautiful. So it is not the scripture description that they will have two horns. They will be against the principle of the Lord. They will completely deny the religious principle, and those are called the demon. We all know that the Ravana was a great Pandit, and everybody used to respect him because he had learned all the Vedas, all the knowledge he had. What was as a normal person, he was a very educated, very learned person. But why he was called as a demon? Because he was against the will of the Lord. He had envious nature with the will to the Lord. He wanted to enjoy the Lord's property without his permission. So that is the difference between the demon and the demigods. Demigods are those who follow the instruction of the Lord. They are in alignment to the script, the Vedic principle. They are in alignment to the instructions of the Lord. And demons are those who are against the principles of the Lord. So even in our life, we are sometimes demon. In Kali Yuga, actually, we had demon and demigod same in the same person. Sometimes our mentality is like demoniac, and sometimes it is like a demigod. Sometimes we will be following, and sometimes we will not be following. And many people, they don't follow ever, so they are like demoniac. So they are called as a demon. They are called as a demon because they do not follow the principle, Vedic principle. They will not follow the scriptures. They will do the things what they like to do. So that is why they are called as a demon. So when the demon disturbs the devotees, Krishna says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to reestablish the principles of religion, I appear myself millennium after millennium. So Krishna comes to protect the devotees. So it is not that Narasimhadev had come to kill the Hiranyakashipu. Narasimhadev had come to keep the words of Prahlad Maharaj. And keeping the word Prahlad Maharaj, if Hiranyakashipu was he had to kill, he killed it. So actually it was not that he came to kill Hiranyakashipu. He came to protect Prahlad Maharaj. Paritranaya sadhunam. The first reason for Lord's appearance is to protect the devotee. Devotees are in danger. Whenever devotees of the Lords are in danger, he comes himself to protect them. And in protection of the devotee, vinashaya cha dushkrita. So dushkritit log, those who are dushkrit, those who are demons, he kills them. And he reestablished the dharma. Again and again, Sambhavami yuge yuge. In every millennium I come. And this is the reason for my coming, to protect the devotee, to annihilate the miscreants, to reestablish the religious principles. I come again of every millennium. So this is the purpose of Lord's appearance. The purpose of Lord's incarnation is deliver the pious, annihilate the miscreants, and to reestablish dharma. These are the reasons for the appearance. The primary reason for Krishna's advance is to satisfy the longing of his devotee who desired to see him and protect them. Secondary reason is to punish the demons. Krishna's punishment is also mercy because he bestows on them the bliss of liberation by killing them. So even though sometimes when he kills, that is also the mercy. Actually, he is merciful to the demons also, because anybody who is killed by the Lord also gets liberation. So he shows the mercy to the devotee by protecting them, and he shows the mercy to demon by killing them and giving them liberation. Then different avatars of Lord Krishna. So there are various incarnation of the Lord. There are various types of actual incarnation. So there are Purusha avatar. This Purusha avatar is like it's for the creation. Karnodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Shirodakshaya Vishnu. They are all Purushas, those who create this material universe and material world. We will sometime do that creation part also separately. Today I'm not going to get into that. Then there is a Guna avatar. So to protect the three modes, for the three modes. In the Sattva Guna, Lord appears as a Vishnu, and Rajoguna, he appears as a Brahmaji to create, and in Tamoguna, he appears as the Lord Shiva to annihilate. So for the maintenance, creation, and annihilation, in three gunas, he also appears in different form. So Lord Krishna appears in the form of Brahma, Krishna appears in the form of Vishnu, Krishna appears in the form of Lord Shiva. Then there is a Leela avatar. These are the Leela avatar, like Rama avatar, there are various Leela, Krishna avatar, various Leela. Vamandev Leela is there, how he punished the Maharaja Bali. So he does the different type of Leela. What does it come and show his Leela? To attract the Jiva. Because we have no actually clue about the God. Actually, most of the people don't have clue. We know. We know because we read Prabhupada's book and Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. We know how the spiritual world looks like. What does Krishna do? What is Krishna's Ashtaprahar Leela? Which forest he is gone this time? So there is a Ashtakaliya Leela, Ashtaprahar Leela. Krishna has, in the day there are 8 prahar. Each prahar is about 3 hours. So Krishna has a different Leela to different times. So morning he will go to herd the cows, and then he'll go to meet the gopas, and then he will do different Leela. So in Vrindavan there are 12 forests, and Krishna goes to different forests for different Leelas. So all these things is very nicely defined in the scriptures. So those who read these scriptures, they know. Then Manvantara avatar. Manvantara avatar is in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manu. 14 times Manu changes. All these things technical, we have not actually discussed in the class, so probably you will not understand. So Manvantara is in one day of the Brahma is like a Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kalyug. There are 4 yugas. Like this is one cycle. Like this, when then 1000 times it happens, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kalyug, that is the one day of Brahma. So in Brahma's one day, there is 1000 cycle of 4 yugas. So in those 1000 cycle, there are 14 times Manu changes, and each Manu rules for 71 Divya Yuga. So 14 into 72 into 1008 or something, and that is the day of Brahma. So every Manvantar also Krishna appears. Then the Yuga avatar. Every Yuga, like Dwapar Yuga, Krishna's prominent avatar is, or Treta Yuga, Krishna's prominent avatar is, Kal Yuga, Krishna's prominent avatar is, Shaktiavesh. Shaktiavesh avatar is sometimes Krishna does not appear directly, but he gives his potency to some Jiva to behave like him. Like Parashuram, Buddha, then Vyasadeva, they're all Shaktiavesh. Krishna has put his all energy to them to do some superhuman thing. So they are directly not worshipped as a Lord, but they are as good as Lord, because Krishna has given them the empowerment to do something special, to do something very, very special. Krishna empowered. Shakti Avesh. He has given them his own Shakti. That is why this avatar is called Shakti Avesh. So like this, there are different avatar of Lord Krishna. So why do we know Krishna's coming and going and appearance and disappearance. What is the use for us knowing all these things? Krishna say, we'll discuss here actually. Janma karma cha me devyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma neti mameti so arjana. Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam. My appearance and my transcendental activities are all divya. Even though I appear as a small boy, even though I appear as a boar, even though I appear as a fish, even though I appear as a kurma, like turtle, but my activities are not like turtle, kurma, and turtle or the boar or fish or any. My activities are divya. When Krishna has appeared as Lord Krishna in 5,000 years ago in Vrindavan, when he was 6 days old only, he had killed the demon Putana. And for your surprise, when Putana was killed, when she fell on the ground, her body was like 10 miles long. Such a gigantic demon she was, and she had taken a form of a beautiful woman, and she wanted to breastfeed Krishna, and she had put the poison, and by drinking the milk, Krishna will die. And this was the plan of Krishna's mama Kamsa. But Krishna knew that she is coming to kill me, and Krishna in return killed him. So Krishna had done so many, actually in the childhood only, Krishna had killed so many demons. He had not even lifted any weapon. Krishna did not lift any weapon, but he killed them. So even though he lifted the Govardhan hill when he was 7-year-old. So he, and with his left hand. So Krishna has all superhuman thing. So it is all transcendental. It is not related to the human form. That is the reason when Krishna had married 16,108 wives, and those were the girls, they were imprisoned in the by the Narkasura, and Krishna killed Narkasura and delivered these girls. And this girl said, now who will accept, because we were there with this demon for so many years. When we go out, nobody will marry us. Why don't you marry us? Then Krishna, to deliver them, he married to those 16,108 girls. So Krishna had 16,108 wives. Not that he was one person. Krishna had expanded himself in 16,108 form. And simultaneously, he used to be in every palace with all the wives. So that was a superhuman thing. It was a transcendental quality of Krishna. So Krishna says, my appearance and my qualities are all transcendental. It's not ordinary. So anybody who knows that, Tyaktva deham punarjanma neti mameti so Arjuna. After leaving this body, he will not come back again. So there is a very much importance of knowing about Krishna's pastime. Krishna comes and performs so many pastimes so that Jiva is attracted towards him. And when we hear about him, become attracted towards him. So that is how we go to his planet. So that is what Krishna says. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, takes his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. So Krishna says that they will not come into this material world again. They will come to my eternal abode. Just by knowing my appearance, just by knowing my transcendental qualities, how I am different. So that is why we are trying to understand Krishna's reasons of Krishna's coming, appearance, and Krishna's qualities, and Krishna's pastimes. Vita raga bhaya krodha manmaya mam upashritaha bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavam agataha. Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attain transcendental love for me. So here one thing is important. If we want to attain the transcendental love of the Lord, that is what we are all trying. What we have to do, we have to become purified. Purified by from our lust, anger, greed, all these things, we have to be purified. So, and how we become purified from all these things? lust, anger, greed, because of when we hear about Krishna. When we hear about Krishna, the transcendental pastimes of Krishnas are so attractive that it elevates our consciousness. It elevates our consciousness and we become completely purified by hearing about it. Bhagavatam says, Shunvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana. When you hear about Krishna, Hridayanto hi abhadrani, all the abhadra in the heart immediately gets purified just by hearing the transcendental vibration of the holy name, transcendental quality of the Supreme Lord. So Lord, we chant the name of the Lord from the mouth. It goes through our ears to the heart. And what does the holy name and quality of Krishna does? It kills all the demons inside. Nature of the Krishna is to kill the demons. So these are the demons in our heart of all this. Impurities are there. And because it is impure, Krishna is not there. We can't see Krishna, actually. Krishna is still there, but we can't. It is covered. As a mirror is covered with the dust, we cannot see anything. So we have to clean. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Cheto darpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. Cheto darpana marjanam. The heart is like a mirror. And all these impurities are like a dust on that mirror. So when the mirror is completely covered with the dust, you go in front of the mirror also, we cannot see it. There will be no reflection of anything. To get the reflection of anything on the mirror, we need to clean the mirror. So Krishna is sitting in our heart as a Paramatma, in everyone's heart. Every jiva has Paramatma within them. It is not that only some people have revived the relation, some people relation is dormant right now. Some people have started the process of chanting, hearing, reading, and slowly they are trying to remove their dirt and dust and revive their relation with Krishna. And some people, it is dormant. Still that covering is there. So each one of us has to remove the covering to revive the relationship with Krishna. And why? Because then only we can become permanently happy. Krishna is the source of happiness. We are part and parcel of Krishna. How can a part be happy separated by the whole? How can a child be happy if he is separated from the parents? Child will be happy only when he is with the parent. He feels very protected, especially when he is a small child. He feels very protected when he is with the father or parents or mother. When he is away from the father and mother, what he will do? He will only cry. Even if you give them biscuit, he will cry. Even if you give them toy, he will cry. Even if you give them anything what they want, ice cream, chocolate, but he will keep crying. He'll eat for 2 minutes and again, Mummy, Papa, Mummy, he will do. So for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, he'll be okay. We can distract them by giving something, but again, he will remember and cry. This is our situation is. So material happiness, what we are getting in this word is giving us happiness for a little while, for some time. And then again, we are sad. Then again, we are sad. Because ultimately, we are longing to have a relation. The soul is longing to have a relation with the super soul. Soul is not able to speak. But actually, it is longing because soul is disconnected from the Father. Soul is disconnected from his source. So it is natural desire of the soul is to be connected. It is unnatural that we are keeping it separate. It is unnatural for the soul, and that is why soul is very, very disturbed, not happy. This is the only reason. After having everything, the success, the beauty, the fame, the education, the money, we feel very like not happy all the time. Yeah. So Krishna says, when you take refuge in me, then you become purified. And then you will attain the transcendental love for me. Win our enemy, lust, fear, anger. How? By surrendering to the Lord, by reviving our relationship with the Krishna. So because we are, so this is actually nature of the material world. We all have this lust. What lust means? We want to acquire everything in the life. Whatever we have, we are not happy and satisfied. We want to have more. And after we attain, what the next is fear. Oh my God, I should not lose it. How do I protect it? So the fear is there all the time. Oh my God, it should not be taken away from me. So after lust, there is a fear. The next emotion is fear. And if sometime it is removed, then it is anger. And or nowadays depression. So these are the natural emotions we have. And we can overcome this. And because of these things, we are not even happy. So Krishna, the creator and culmination of all path, will have this. So Krishna says, now we are talking about Krishna is ready to give us love when our heart is purified. To whom Krishna will give how much love? As I said, all of us have Krishna sitting in our heart. So Krishna should give equally love to everyone actually. What does Krishna says? Ye yathamam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamiham mam vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvasa. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So Krishna is equal to all, but Krishna's love is dependent on our surrender. How much ever we surrender, how much Krishna reciprocate accordingly. If our surrender to Krishna is this much, Krishna's reciprocation is this much. If our surrender to Krishna is this much, then Krishna's reciprocation is this much. So when the Draupadi was there in danger and there was Dushasan was trying to pull the dhoti of the Draupadi and he was trying to make her naked in the whole sabha, and Draupadi was in distress complete. Like such a tormenting state of mind that she was sitting in the court, like not in the one room where she was alone. There were all people sitting and somebody is trying to disrobe. So Draupadi was trying to, naturally everybody will do that, trying to hold her sari like this, so that I can protect myself. She was trying to do her bit that I will be able to protect myself. I will do. Then she started looking to her husbands. They were all sitting, Yudhishthir, Pandava, Bhim, Nakul, Sahdev. That what are you all sitting here for? Can't you all protect me? You are all such a great fighter and warrior. Can you not protect me? So she started looking at them, but they were already, Duryodhan had made them as his own servants. They had lost that gambling, this thing, and they had become servant. So they could not go against Duryodhan to protect. They could have protected, but they could not protect because they had become servant of Duryodhan. Then she looked at the Dhritarashtra, who was the king. She looked at all the sages were there in the assembly. I am getting like he's trying to make me naked here, and you are all sitting great people. Can't you all protect me? So she was looking at each and everyone, and everybody was not able to do because Dushasan was powerful and Duryodhan, they could not go against them. Then she had nothing, and she started calling, "Oh Govinda, please protect me. Oh Govinda, oh Govinda." As soon as she started calling name of the Lord, Lord came in the form of sari. And Dushasan was pulling, and it became unlimited sari. And Dushasan fell down he was so tired and he could not do anything. So after this event happened, when Draupadi was a very good friend of Krishna, and Draupadi asked, Krishna, why you took so long? I'm so unhappy with you. He was trying to disrobe me, and you took so long to come. I was trying to be helping myself, and it took for you so long to come to protect me. Krishna said, I came immediately the moment you called my name. She said, no, you took so long. He said, no, you were not calling my name. You were trying to protect yourself. You were trying to see your husband will protect. You were thinking that this king will protect. You were thinking that this all the sages will protect. You never think about me. You never thought that I am there to protect. The moment you thought about me, that, oh Krishna, oh Govinda, please protect me, immediately I came in the form of sari. So it depends on how eager we are, how much determined we are, how much surrendered we are. Accordingly, Krishna reciprocate. Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamim. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So some people worship Krishna for money. Krishna give them money. Some people worship Krishna for some other material gain. Krishna give them that. Some people worship Krishna to get Krishna. Then Krishna give himself to them. So he says, everybody worships me. According to their desire, I reciprocate with them, with the mood of worshipper. So he is there for us. We need to know what to ask for Krishna. Degree of realization. Krishna rewards the devotee according to their different intensity of love for him. People on different paths do not realize different things. They realize different degree and aspect of Krishna. So the Karma Yoga, their realization to Krishna is different. The Jnana Yoga, their realization to Krishna is different. The different process of Bhakti Yoga, not Bhakti Yoga, Yoga. Jnana Yoga and all, their realization to Krishna is different. And the spiritual, especially spiritual, our attitude has a very important role to play. So it's about our attitude. Consciousness. Prabhupada has given very nice name to this movement. International Society of Krishna Consciousness. That is the name of ISKCON. International Society of Krishna Consciousness. When Prabhupada was making this society in 1967, 1968, I think 67. So some of the foreign, that time only the foreign devotees were there. They said, Prabhupada, if you we should write the name International Society of God Consciousness. Prabhupada said, no, I know who is God. His name is Krishna. I want to give the society of Krishna consciousness. And Krishna consciousness means what? Always in the consciousness of Krishna. That is what is Krishna consciousness. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjahoshi dadasyat. Krishna says in the 9th chapter, I guess. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you do activities, whatever you do tapasya, whatever you do austerity, do everything for me. Thinking of me, remembering me. So that is what is consciousness. It is not that what activity we are doing. We have to remember the Lord in all our activities. The attitude has to be given. So now Krishna says, okay, I give them accordingly whatever they worship. So what about the people, those who do not worship me? When everybody knows that, we know that there is Krishna, there are different devatas also. Alag-alag devatas are there for different departments. All those, they are the different department head of Krishna's, ministry. So somebody is taking care of the portfolio of wealth. Somebody is taking the portfolio of the environment. Somebody is taking the portfolio of the Lakshmi. Somebody is taking portfolio of different thing. So they are all departmental head of Krishna's portfolio. Like Krishna is the king or Krishna, ruler, and he has given department to each and everyone to take care. So why people do not come to Krishna directly? Why people go to different devatas? Why do people worship demigod? Demigod means different devata. Krishna says, Kankshata karmanam siddhim yajanta ihi devata shipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Kankshata karmanam siddhim. So we have so many desire. Desire means so many things we want to achieve in the material world. And we have been told that if you worship different devata, they will fulfill your desire. So, Chipram hi manushe loka says, and immediately you get, like some people, I know, you do 11 Somvar if you want a good husband. You do 16 Shukrawar if you want this. If you do this time, this many times this. So immediately by doing that, they get their result fulfilled. Your exams are coming, okay, you do this. Okay, this marriage is coming, okay, for some time you do this. So instant result is there. By worshipping them, you immediately get result. So Krishna says, Men in this world desire success in fruitive activities. Fruitive activities means I am doing something and I immediately want to enjoy the result. And therefore they worship the demigod. Quickly, of course, man get result from fruitive work in this world. So to get quick results, men worship the demigod. Different devata. Devatas will not give you just like that. Devatas are like a bank account. If you put 20 rupees in the bank, you can take out 20 rupees from there. If you put 10 rupees in the bank, you can take out 10 rupees from there. So that is the reason when we want something from them, we go and first worship them. And then we accumulate some punya karma. And in whatever punya karma we have accumulated, accordingly, they will give us whatever we desire. Like if I have a bank account, I have 1 lakh rupees in the bank. If I go to the bank manager and say, I want to take out 90,000 from here, he'll say, okay, take out 90,000. But if I say, I want 1,10,000, he said, no, it is not there in your account. I cannot give you. Within 1 lakh, whatever you want, you can take. The worship of the demigod is like that. We do something, some activities, according to those are all prescribed in the different Vedas. And in return, they give us the result. So we have a tendency to enjoy. So when we cannot enjoy by ourselves, then we go to Devata. Okay, you help me to fulfill this desire. And that is how we have been told about the God. God means order supplier. If you want something, go to this God, go to this God, go to this God, and they will fulfill your desire. This is what generally in India we are trained. Then Krishna talks about how different departments are there in one own life. Chatur Vanyam Maya System Guna Karma Vibhagasha Tasya Kartaram. I think we'll stop it here. It's already 7:36. We'll do it next class.
Yes, Mataji.
Because it's a long this thing. Okay. Anybody has any question?
Ma'am, nobody teaches Bhagavad Gita in by and large in India. As a child, we used to have always Ramayana in our house, and whosoever wants used to study, read, and shlokas and all. But it's not there. It is not implemented right from the childhood. All Devi Devtas are there in your house. Yes, Krishna is also there for Janmashtami. Okay. Yeah. So nothing else. So basically, children, they are not aware of it. Even we
have not been given the principles. We have been given, you are living in the material world, so you have to fulfill your desire. So these are the opportunity there. So whenever you want anything, you go there, worship there, and then they will be given whatever you want.
Nobody teaches. No one. Your gurus, your teachers, I mean, in the beginning.
See, what we are learning right now is the highest philosophy. Like yesterday, I was telling that, how to get rid of this human form of life, how to get rid of birth and death, because this is a real problem. Real problem is not that I am sick. Real problem is not that I am poor. Because it is all temporary problem. The real problem is there I have taken a human birth, so all this thing is going to come because I am creating karma. I have to go through. Till the time I am creating karma, I have to go through all the karmas. So ultimately, you have to stop creating karma. Then only the problem will be solved.
Importance of Bhagavad Gita was never taught to us, and not being aware of it till I joined this group. At least
people say sometime in India also that you don't keep Bhagavad Gita in the house because Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. So it will bring Mahabharata in your family.
You will find Ramayana. So many in the house.
Ideal. But actually, even I'm surprised to see that even people are reading Ramayana for so many years, and so many people have read so many times Ramayana. They have not taken the principles from there also. People read people are reading it just as a activity. I have read 3 times, 5 times, 7 times, 9 times, 10 times as a story. They have not taken, because Ramayana also teaches the same principle as Bhagavad Gita actually. There also the holy name is the one full chapter. Lord Shiva is glorifying the holy name. How the holy name is so important. The Tulsidas, actually, at least in Ramcharitmanas, is glorifying the Lord. Navada Bhakti is described in Ramayana. But unfortunately, they are not, because we are not learning through Guru. We are not taking the principles from there also. We are only taking there some stories.
I really feel sorry for that. Ma'am, every millennium he takes birth, Krishna. So the Mahabharata was 5,000 years ago. So every millennium means every 1,000 years. So
yeah.
So what are his other births?
He'll be coming every time. Like sometime he comes himself. Sometime he is come as a Shaktiavesh, like he will empower somebody to come and spread his teaching. So both ways he comes. Okay, sometime he will come direct. Sometime he sends the great gurus, those who are empowered to spread the teachings. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, to achieve success, especially the spiritual, attitude has an important role to play. What is that attitude, Mataji?
Attitude to, first of all, we understand who am I, what is my relationship, and how do we develop this relationship? In what consciousness we have to work? We have to understand the philosophy correct. And in that correct philosophy, our attitude should be right. Like attitude is important in the way you say that if you are worshipping Krishna, what for? Are you worshipping Krishna for some material gain? Or are you worshipping Krishna to acquire something from him? Or worshipping Krishna to develop the relationship from him? Or you worship the Krishna to attain him? What is your attitude towards? Every people have a different attitude. Some people worship Krishna. Krishna says in, I think 4th chapter only or 9th chapter, he says, Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritano arjuna artho jigyaso artharti jnani cha bharatrisham. There are 4 type of people worship me. One comes when he is in distress. One comes when he wants to have the material opulences. One comes when he is artho jigyasu. He is inquisitive. I really want to know what is there in Bhagavad Gita. I really want to know what is spiritual life. He is inquisitive about it. And the another person is one who is in knowledge. He has already known Krishna is supreme and now he wants to know more about him. Like Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj knew that Krishna is supreme Lord. So he wanted to hear more and more about him.
Right.
So different people have different attitude towards the Lord.
Right. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else has any question? Comment, suggestion, realization? Anything you all want to share? Would you like to show your faces?
Mataji, I have a question. Mataji, Bhagavatam came after Bhagavad Gita because you told the story of Narsimha, Lord Narsimha with the Prahalad story. So that happened in Bhagavatam. As far as I know, I'm not that much, I don't have that much idea about Krishna. So can you please clear me this doubt?
Bhagavad Gita is actually Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is the last scripture compiled. Compilation, it is the last compilation of the Vyasadeva is the Srimad Bhagavatam. He wrote Purana, he wrote Mahabharata, he wrote Itihasa. And after writing all those things, he was not happy. He was not satisfied. And then he was worried that I have given everything to the people. Still, I am not feeling happy. And that is when he wrote Bhagavatam. But the Bhagavatam describes about the story of Krishna, which is from Satyuga. All the different incarnation. Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5,000 years ago. But Bhagavatam stories are all very old, ancient stories of Krishna's different incarnation. Most of the incarnation of Krishna happened in Satyuga because Satyuga is a very, very long period. Kalyuga is 4,32,000. Satyuga is 4 times Kalyuga. So 16 lakh or 17 lakh something. So most of the like Varaha, Kurma, Mohini, Matsya, all this incarnation had happened in different mantra in Satyuga.
And one more question, Mataji. Why Krishna, he was advising Arjuna? Even Bhima wanted to kill all those his cousins, 100 cousins. But why? So why he was telling this, advising this to Arjuna? So he was the only one who said, "I don't want to kill," or why others did not say anything? Why he said only to Arjuna?
What? I could not
But-
understand your question.
See, this Bhagavad Gita, he's advising Arjuna.
Ah.
So why he did not advise this to other the Pandavas?
Okay. Yeah, that is what Abhi just now we read, na? Bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyami etaduttam. Arjuna was complete surrender. This is a very confidential knowledge which Krishna said I wanted to give you. And I'm confidential knowledge, you give it to person who is really, really close to your heart, who will understand it, admire it, right? So Arjuna had a very, like a very, very deep relationship with Krishna. And Arjuna was completely surrendered to Krishna. Completely. Arjuna always said, whatever, Bhim, Arjuna, sometimes they used to be like, no, Krishna, I will not do this. Why we should do this? They used to sometimes challenge. Not challenge in the sense, sometimes we can retaliate, go against Krishna's will. But Arjuna never went. Arjuna, whatever Krishna said, he followed. So this knowledge was given to Arjuna. Because he was a great devotee of the Lord. Krishna himself says, Bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyami etaduttamam. You are my devotee and you are my friend. So that is the reason I am giving this knowledge to you. Actually through Arjuna, we all hearing, but Arjuna became the first recipient of this knowledge.
Mataji, the Prabhu asked about the attitude.
Yeah.
The Prabhu was asking about the attitude. Lord Chaitanya says that, the third shloka of Vikshashtakam, I think that is the attitude that a devotee should have.
Yeah, that is also, yes, correct. Trinadapishu nichena tarorapisha hishnuna. That is actually a very higher level of devotee. When we start practicing Krishna consciousness in a very serious note, then this is the mood comes, and that is the perfection of that mood. We should not consider we should be very humble. We should not be considering ourselves more than a grass. Grass, everybody walks upon, but grass never complains. So we should be like a dried grass, not even the green grass. That should be the mood that I am so humble, become so humble. And then Tarorapisha Vishnu Nam. We should be more tolerant than the tree. Tree is standing in all the weather, whether it is hot, whether it is cold, whether it is rainy season, but tree never complains. It just tolerates all the seasons and without complaining. So the devotee, the mood, that should be the mood of the devotee when we practice Krishna consciousness, that we should be very, very humble, tolerant. We should always be ready to give respect to others. Amanina manadena. We should not expect everybody should come and give me the respect. We should rather give the respect to everyone. Kirtaniya Sadahari. When we have this attitude, then we can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. That's a little bit higher mood. Initial mood is that how we are worshipping Krishna with what we have, what we want from Krishna. First, we have to be clear about it. Why I want to, we all have to develop the relation with Krishna. Why I have to develop the relation with Krishna? Do I have some desire? Do I want to revive my relationship? Do I want to connect myself? Do I want to have a loving relationship because he is the one who is providing me everything? We have to understand what is my relationship with Krishna.
But even when we approach a guru, we have to have that basic humility to accept it.
Correct.
That's essential in the beginning itself.
Yeah. The question should be there in a humble mood. To ask inquiry. Inquiry is always there. Inquiry is always welcome. Whenever we are there with any meeting to understand the scripture, there should be inquiry in a humble mood that I want to understand, not in challenging mood. Wow, I don't believe this is why Krishna is doing, why Krishna did this. Krishna has done whatever is perfect. We need to understand how only. We cannot say that what Krishna has done is wrong. Whatever he has done is all right. Only thing we cannot understand how it is right. Like the child sometimes is there. Parents say, don't watch TV. I do not know why they are saying not to watch TV. Then parent explains, see, your exams are going on. You should not watch TV because you have to write exam tomorrow. The reason, it's not parents are right, but we have to give the reason. So Krishna is always right. We have to understand how it is right. How do we understand that? Anything else? So we'll continue chapter 4 again next class. Please share your comments that you are able to understand, because I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I am telling, but I don't know how much you are able to grasp or understand it. So please share your comment that like you are able to understand. And also I said, try to read Bhagavad Gita sometime. Open the Bhagavad Gita, read all those what we have read. We have read 10 shloka in a week. You read one shloka every day, also at least 6-7. So now I'm thinking we will post some important verses of Bhagavad Gita audio form in the group, in the section what we have done. So at least you hear them. So I forgot to tell, many of you have left, but we are thinking that that is how at least you will all also like to read or hear. So like if we have done 10 shloka, at least 4 or 5 shloka we'll post in the group. And then you can hear those shlokas purport in detail, understanding. So if after hearing, reading, if you have any question, we can discuss. Is that okay to you all?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. See you all next week again. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalptarobhyascha kripa sindhubhya.
Jai Gachapati Pranatam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo.
Nanto